Part 3 of remodeling this staircase and teaching you everything we've learned. Our goal was to get all of the banisters and posts back to the original white oak, which you can see here, and it is beautiful and matches the new floors. After thinking sanding would be the quickest and easiest way, we had to move on to some other things because it was taking so long. We ended up going through 4 different ways because it was taking literally ages to get this stain off of the wood. After sanding, the second option we chose and had read a lot about was citrus strip, and I'm going to tell you about that entire process. You can see everything I bought here and this roll of essentially saran wrap, but this was used by movers to wrap furniture. You're going to start by putting a hefty coat of citrus strip on all of the wood. Now this is the back staircase and there are more rails back here, so there was a lot of wood to cover, and let me tell you, it took many hours. If I were to guess, there's probably over 100 feet of railing that I had to do throughout this house. Once it's covered in citrus strip, you want to wrap it in this saran wrap or plastic, and what that does is it keeps it from drying out, which allows it to continue to work overnight. Here's a little PSA that I learned, of course, after I did the project. Citrus strip is very toxic, and honestly, I would not be using it again, especially inside my house. I was wearing a mask and gloves the whole time I did the project, but I didn't really think about the fumes that would be set around the house, and they took over 24 hours to go out. I let it sit overnight and gave it about 12 hours before I decided to start scraping it off. Now, I was very hopeful that I could just come in with a putty knife or steel wool and it would just rub right off. But let me tell you, it was exactly the opposite. Almost nothing came off. Now, I can already hear people saying, yes, you have to do multiple coats, and I do understand. But I wasn't going to do another coat of this. And if you're wondering what the mineral spirits are for, it helps get the goo and gunk from that citrus strip off the wood. So the question is, was it worth it, and how much did it really take off? And as you can see here, it definitely made a difference. Once it dried out, it did look a lot lighter, but ultimately, I wouldn't do it again. With having this many rails and posts to cover, it just wasn't feasible to go back and forth with a brush and saran wrap over and over and over. If you watch our IG stories, you know this has been a battle for weeks now to get these stupid rails to look good. Feeling a bit defeated, I started sanding, but I think I ended up finding a better way, and I'm going to teach you about that in the next video.